Okay, it's got the same page, but now it's saying to YouTube. It's loading, and let's see if it just gives me the same circles. Oh, now it's saying to YouTube. It's loading, and let's see if it just gives me the same circles. It worked. Okay, now we got to get everyone from. Now it's saying to YouTube. It's loading, and let's see if it just gives me the same circles. It worked. Okay, now we got to get everyone from. Now it's saying. The problem is I'm not. YouTube, it's loading, and let's see if it gives me the same. The problem is I'm not. YouTube, it's loading, and let's see if it gives me the same. What is going on? It's like the problem is I'm not. What the world? What is going on? Well, I can't hear myself think. What do I do? Do I exit out of the?
We're getting there.
Now I can't. Yeah, I'm not seeing. I don't know if I accidentally just exited out of there. I don't know. I can't see him either. I couldn't see anyone. I couldn't see anything. All I could see was my YouTube video channel going and like my voice going 3 different times. Okay. Okay, it's saying we're live on YouTube right now. It says live on YouTube, and I can see Jarrod. Can you see me, Jarrod? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay.
So we're live, right?
Yeah, hang up.
I think so.
Gosh.
Let me just usher people in. Go ahead. I'm hanging up on you on WhatsApp.
Okay. Wow, everybody, this has been a complete nightmare. Thank you so much, Jarrod, for sticking with me.
For sure.
So we're using a platform, Zoom, to be able to go live with more than one person at a time. We were going to do this on my Facebook page, my business Facebook page. Well, we're going to end up doing this here on YouTube, which we'll be able to share with everyone. But everyone's expecting us on Facebook. So we're going to have to, oh, what a nightmare. We're going to have to be able to see or get everyone from Facebook now over to our YouTube page to get them to join us live for questions and to be able to deep dive this deal. Jamelia,
Hey.
I would like to be able to see the comments while I am talking with you guys. How do we set that up? Or do you want to just manage that for me, and then you can, when there's a question.
You and Jarrod need to be focused on talking, not reading comments as they go live.
Okay. Have we got anybody in here live yet? Can we
Not yet, just the 2 of us, because nobody knows yet.
Okay. We'll go ahead and run over. If you're watching this recording, give us a couple minutes and we're going to get some people ushered in.
Post. Okay, and the email is going out in just 30 seconds. Sunday.
I'm gonna go live personally on my Facebook on my phone.
Oh, just to tell them?
Yeah.
You can do it on your page. No? Can you? It's not gonna work. Yeah.
You hear my little girl screaming? It's the dad life.
It's a blessed life.
It's wonderful. Unless you haven't slept, then you're like exhausted. Let's see here. Why is this not letting me post?
My gosh. It's time. Oh God. Let's see, how do I do this? Okay, so Russell's on. Welcome, Russell.
Hey, Russell, we're just trying to get a few things worked out here. It's the first time going live on YouTube. We tried Facebook, but it was not working. So just stick with us. We're letting everyone know where we are at and getting people on.
Perfect. So, Zach, if you expand the YouTube video, you'll be able to see the chat. You just let me know if you can see it or not.
Do you want me to go into my YouTube channel?
No, I'm just telling you that if you expand the video, I'm not sure what your screen looks like, but if you expand the video, the chat will be on your right.
So I put it full screen. You mean put it full screen?
No, I mean the window where the YouTube video actually is. So if you go to,
all I can see is Zoom. Here, let me share my screen, Jamelia, and you can direct me. All right, see that? This is where I'm at.
So
I just got my Zoom video. It just looks like a regular Zoom video.
Click on that, and that's why you can't pay attention to the chat. That's why that's going to be my job, because.
So I just got my Zoom video. So it just looks like a regular Zoom video.
There you go. That's it.
Right, can you still hear me?
I do. So you have to mute that. Mute that one so it doesn't distract you. Good. Okay.
So I've got Zoom open up on my phone, and then I've got the YouTube live open up on my computer, and I can see the comments and the YouTube video and the Zoom call.
Exactly.
So I'm not seeing the chats here.
To the right.
Oh, there we go.
Go up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share before everyone starts laughing at me for how illiterate I am with a computer. All right.
Oh.
All right, everybody. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. I can see the chats. Beautiful. All right. We're getting more people live. Share where you're coming from, everybody that's on here. Thank you so much for your patience and everything with the technology. I spent some time today figuring this out, making sure we could go live on the Facebook page, and everything was working. It was just giving us a loading error. So there was some error on the side of technology. So let's make some introductions here. As you guys are typing where you're from, I'm excited to get to know you guys a little more. But I want to introduce to you two amazing people that I have with me today. First, I'm Zach Booth. I am the Driving for Dollars guru. I focus on helping people find deeply discounted properties so you can make a fortune with real estate investing. We use a strategy called Driving for Dollars. We may talk a little bit about it. But more importantly, we're going to talk about Jarrod and his big deal. But before we get into Jarrod and his deal and what he's been doing, I want to introduce to you guys Jamelia. If you haven't met her before, Jamelia is amazing. She's my right-hand gal with my real estate coaching business. I would not be a real estate coach. I would not have a business if it wasn't for Jamelia. She takes care of me and helps run all of the back end, the technology side. I just get to share my knowledge with you guys, and I try and avoid any of the tech stuff. This is what happens when I am responsible for the tech. And so all of these issues is because Jamelia let me have a responsibility. So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Jamelia is great. So when students that have issues or problems on the back end of our course or anything else, Jamelia helps me run all of that. So she's super awesome. So thanks for being here, Jamelia. Jamelia's going to help with answers. She's going to keep us in line. She's going to stop us if she sees a great question that she wants us to answer. So Jamelia is kind of here for my support and helping run this live event here. But Jarrod, give us an intro, buddy.
Yeah, sure. What do you want to know? I just started wholesaling 13 months ago. I'm in Lubbock, Texas, and I'm doing it part-time. I'm not doing it full-time. I'm no big hot shot wholesaler. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm in some level that they're not. I feel like I'm just among anybody else, just learning how to do this and get started. And I'm really enjoying it. Absolutely enjoying it.
We're all here. Jarrod's a humble guy. So I want you all to understand something. Jarrod has been able to take what I've taught him and he's crushing it, right? And not everyone can do that. Not everyone can follow instructions and have success. So yeah, Jarrod may be new to this industry, but he's making a ton of money and he's very successful. Jarrod has some very similar interests. He's learned Portuguese to meet his wife, like myself.
Yeah.
So I actually married a Brazilian gal, served a mission in Brazil. Jarrod did the same, right?
I mean, I'm not married yet, but I did serve in Brazil, did some missionary work out there. And then,
right.
Yeah, so I'm still dating her. She's coming to America in May, provided that travel lets her.
Right. That's awesome. So, no, I thought that was kind of funny because when Jarrod met me, we started speaking Portuguese. I was like, where'd you learn Portuguese? Yeah. Coincidence. That's kind of cool. So, yeah, that's kind of something cool about Jarrod. And then go ahead.
Yeah. In fact, your wife and my girlfriend are both from the same tiny little town, Diadema.
Yep. Little like suburb within Sao Paulo city, which is like 18 million people. And they live like in the same little neighborhood, which is kind of wild. Yeah. But anyways, let's see who we have on here. Jarrod. We got some Russell from Alabama, Drew from Indiana.
Danny.
Chicago. Liana, awesome. From Canada, awesome. Yeah, I've been emailing Liana a little bit. So this is awesome. Good stuff. Drew, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you're here too, man.
What's up, everybody?
So people are saying, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be added here because I'm not paying yet. Guys, this is me giving back. This is free. I'm all about giving back. Not everything that I do, I get paid for, and I'm okay with that. People are like, man, am I getting away with something I'm not supposed to?
Exactly.
That's great. Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad you feel like you're getting so much value. So let's actually dive into this. So Jarrod, I'm going to put Jarrod on the spot. So Jarrod's been a student. How long ago did you join the course?
Ooh, I think October.
Okay. So what is that? October? When in October? Beginning, end?
And I believe it was the end of October.
Okay. So November, December, January, February, March, we'll say 5 months you've been a student, right?
Yeah. Right.
Had you wholesaled any deals before you joined the course?
I had wholesaled 5
deals.
4 or 5, but to that point, yeah.
What time frame?
Well, I started March 2019, and I think I had either 4 or 5 deals done by October. Maybe it was 4. I did 2 in December. Yeah, so I had 4 done by that point.
So pretty good. That's great. How much do you know how much you made in those first 5 deals?
In the first 5, well, the first 6 deals, I know I made $112K in the first 6 deals.
That's so amazing. How much did you spend in marketing to do those first few deals?
Probably right at about $5K total in marketing, if that.
Holy crap. He's like, yeah, I don't know anything. You know, I'm just a newbie. Dude, you take $5,000, turn it into $112,000. You know, my hat's off to you. I don't care how much experience you have. Numbers don't lie. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's dive in. So you had some success, you had some knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
Jumped into driving for dollars. Let's talk about your driving for dollars numbers, and then we'll talk about this awesome deal and this creative finance deal that you did. And then we're going to allow people to ask questions. We're going to deep dive it. So, like I said, I'm putting you on the spot, guys. I haven't told you what to prepare. I just want to see how good he is.
Okay. And I'm willing for you to tear my business open, man, and even give me some correction if I'm, not doing everything up to par.
Love it. So in the course, I talk about, tracking your KPIs, tracking your key performance indicators, your numbers. So how many properties have you added to your driving for dollars list in that amount of time?
So I've got 4,633 pins in Deal Machine.
633 pins. Look at him know his numbers. Look at you.
4,633.
Love it. 4,633.
Right.
How much have you, so what are you doing as far as marketing to that list?
So I'm doing direct mail, and I'm doing TTP, and I'm doing cold calls, and I'm doing cold texts as well. Okay.
So direct mail, cold calling, and postcards. Beautiful. That's a very aggressive approach. I love it.
Right.
All right, let's talk numbers. How much have you spent in cold calling, buying phone numbers, and then how many hours have you dialed? Do you know?
How many hours total on the dialer? Oh, that's good. Probably right.
You can pull that pretty easy on Mojo Dialer, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I don't have that right in front of me, but I know that I'm well under 40 hours total. I'm just doing it real part time.
Okay. Do you know how many postcards you've sent?
Total postcards? No, I don't. I'm
gonna be your coach right now. Okay. So everyone, this is like a free coaching session that you guys get to dip in and see. Great. So with your marketing list, it doesn't matter if it's a driving for dollars list, if it's a high equity list, it doesn't matter. Okay. So if you're going to take that list and you're going to market to it, and you can use more than one strategy like you're doing. You can do ringless voicemails, postcards, emails, door knocking, texting, all of them, right? But what you need to know is you need to go, okay, every single week, you need to break down these numbers. So what you'll have is how many properties, right? You added to that list. So you'll have your driving for dollars list, your campaign. Right below that, you want to have how many. So let's say let's do yours. So for cold calling, you want to have how many hours on the dialer, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to break it down even further. You're going to be like, okay, I had this many hours. I had this many contacts, right, of people that you actually got a hold of. I got this many leads. Right? Actual people that are like, yeah, I've thought about selling, whether they want retail or if it's a deal for you, how many leads. And then you're going to go appointments from it. And then you're going to do contracts. And then you're going to do revenue. Right?
Yeah.
And then once you have your gross revenue, you're going to put in what your total expense was.
Right.
Right? And then you're going to put in your net profit. That's the number you're trying to get to. And you're going to track that every single week. And then you're going to add it up for the month. You're going to add it up for the quarter, and you're going to add it up for the year. And then you're going to be able to know exactly how many hours on the dialer you need to produce as many contacts as it takes to produce as many deals as you want to do, right? You break it down to that level. That's what you want to track. So, and then
I've got a bunch of that on my Podio deal. This might help.
Okay.
So I don't have an amount of postcards. Deal Machine. I've sent 6,800 through Deal Machine, and I've done about 4,600. I've done all my pins through your course as well. Yeah. So I'm going to be right at 12K.
In postcards?
Postcards. Mm-hmm.
Around 12,000 postcards. So it's the same thing, guys. So if for like direct mail or texting, it's kind of the same thing. I know it's not hours on the dialer, but it's the amount of postcards sent to how many people respond to how many appointments, and so forth. And so if you track all of that, it's going to make a big difference. And then one thing you keep in mind too, Jarrod, if you're going to use more than one marketing strategy to a list, keep track of how many of those leads are generated on both platforms. So we found that when we would cold call and postcard, we'd get the lead on cold calling faster because we're like really proactive and call every single person within that first week 4 times, right? But then they'd get a postcard about a week later, and they would call the postcard and it would already be in our CRM system. They would think that it was a different company. So we were spending money and cannibalizing our deals. So it actually was less profitable to do more than 1 or 2 marketing strategies per list. So one thing that you can break down is like, hey, I'm going to do the cheaper strategies, which is texting and cold calling first, do 3 or 4 attempts. Whoever does not respond or I can't get a hold of, then they get postcards.
Yes.
Something like that. So that's some serious gold nuggets. I wasn't planning on taking it this way, everybody, but that's a ton of value if you're listening in on this.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to implement now is I'm taking everything of my pins and I'll get it skipped and then I text blast it all. And I'll filter out any no's, like get away, whatever. I'll filter those out and then I'll cold call them. And then anyone who still I can't get a hold of, then I'll start sending the postcards.
Beautiful.
So
that's a great system because then you're really pulling people out of that list is at a cheaper rate than postcards.
Right.
I like it. I like what you're doing. So one thing that I would love for you to do is to really button down your numbers and have that in front of you and review them every single week. So I have my numbers review tomorrow with my team. And it's going to really help you make decisions with your business and know where to go.
Great. Yeah.
So let's talk some numbers that you may know. So you've added 4,633 pins. And a lot of people think that's like an astronomical number, right? That don't understand what driving for dollars mastery is and what it's all about. How many hours has it taken you to produce that?
I don't know how many hours, but
what's your average pin per hour? You probably know that one.
150 to 200, probably upper 200.
Okay, guys, understand what we're talking about here. In 1 hour, Jarrod is adding anywhere between 150 to 200 properties to his marketing list every hour of driving. So I know that's a very high number. Most of our students, like the high point is about 100.
Yeah, and it really varies neighborhood to neighborhood. We've got some really hot neighborhoods that I'm getting that, and some I get, I spend 2 hours and I only get 50. But the majority of where I'm driving, I'll get those high numbers. I just see a lot of opportunity there.
So I'm sorry, I'm responding to the Facebook message. I have a bunch of people asking me where we are at.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Sorry about that. So, like I said, it's a large amount of properties to add in an hour, but with the system, it can be done.
Yeah. When I first started, I was only adding the super turds. As Brent Daniels calls them, the super turds, just the worst of the worst of the worst. But after the course, I think this was by far the biggest nugget I got out of your course was not being so tight on my criteria. In fact, just a quick sidebar, I've got a deal under contract right now that I accidentally pinned the wrong house. So this one had a new roof and a new fence and it looked great, right? And I meant to pin the house right next door, but Deal Machine kind of lagged and I hit the pin and I just said, I don't want to take it off. Just forget it. I'll send the mail anyway. I ended up calling the guy. He goes, yeah, sure. And he wanted a great price for it. And so we got on a contract, and it's set to close in 2 weeks.
That's incredible. Dude, wouldn't it be nice if all of our mistakes were that profitable?
Well, yeah. Well, I've added 4,600 properties, and I've only had that happen once. So
right. Yeah. So I really want to deep dive this creative deal and talk about the deal. That's the main focus of this, but I really want people to understand that this isn't a one-off, right? So this is why we're getting into your numbers. So stick with us. I'm almost there, and then we're going to deep dive this deal. Okay.
Great.
So you've added 4,600 pins, hasn't taken you very much time, in a matter of a few months. How many deals have you closed from driving from dollars at this point? Do you know that number?
All of my deals are driving for dollars, and I've closed 10 deals. I've got 2 more in closing this week, and I've got 2 more in marketing.
Wow. So you've got 2 that are in pipeline, 2 that are with the title company now. What's the money you've generated from the 10 deals?
I've generated 114K.
114.
No, excuse me. Sorry, 124. 124.
So you generated $124,000 off of 4,000 pins, which is absolutely incredible. And that's just in a matter of a few months. Guys, like I said, this dude is humble. He's making an absolute fortune. And, we want you guys to understand that you can do the same thing, right? This is not rocket science. It's not super hard, right?
I don't know why everyone doesn't do this.
Russell's asking, guys, if it's a numbers game.
100%.
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly it, right?
That's exactly what it is.
You drive around, numbers game. Properties, send some postcards, and people start calling you.
It's a numbers game and learning how to conquer fear. I don't know if this is going to work. Who knows? They say, well, I'm not these guys. It's knowing that the numbers are going to work and just trusting that.
Listen, guys, I don't want to talk too much about driving for dollars, right? This is how we find deals. This is how we make a fortune. It's how I've made so much money. We've got 3 properties under contract this last week. My average deal size is 20 grand. So if I hit my average size, it's $60,000. So you can find deals doing this. If you want to learn more about how to find those deals, we have a webinar, right, Jamelia? Don't we have one this week?
Yep, on Thursday at 8 p.m.
Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard?
Yeah.
What's the link?
8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
And the link is dfdmastery.com.
dfdmastery.com. So if you want to join me on the live webinar, I actually go into how we find these properties in the driving for dollar system and all of that. You guys can get started immediately from the webinar. The webinar is free. So if you guys want to join me, then you can join me there. So let's recap this. So Jarrod, how did I find out about this super juicy deal that you got? Like, did you call me or text me? What happened?
Yeah, so I called you about a question I had with another deal, and then we had some chit chat at the end, and I told you about it, and you're like, man, let's deep dive this thing.
Right. Yeah. So guys, the reason I wanted to deep dive this is Jarrod's not the only student in the last few weeks that has told me, hey, I've got an awesome deal, and it's a creative finance deal. It's a creative structure. And I haven't seen creative structure deals. I haven't personally got one in over a year and a half, just because as the market's inflated, more and more people have a ton of equity in the house. They're, selling it cash is their best option when they want to sell it fast. And flippers are usually the ones picking up the deals. They just don't make sense as often for buy and hold investors lately, right? The cash flow is just not necessarily there. The last creative seller finance deal I did, I got it for $2,000 and I rented out for $1,050 and my payment was like $600 a month. I took over the dude's mortgage. It inflated a year and a half later, 2 years later, I sold it for like a $70,000 profit. But I want you guys to understand, I've done multiple 6-figure deals, and every single one of those 6-figure deals, it was because I was able to find it with a seller finance structure. I was able to hold the property for a year, 2, 3 years and sell it for a lot more without doing like rehab or any of those things, because I don't do rehabs. I hate detail. I hate having to go in and manage people. They should just be able to do their job. So I don't flip houses, right? So
with that being said, Jarrod called me with this deal, and I understand that people are needing to sell more right now, and they're willing to get creative and do creative structuring. So we're going to deep dive this deal. But if you guys want to learn more about how to structure creative finance deals, I have a live webinar with Joe McCall where we're going to deep dive lease options and how to structure lease options, which is a very awesome creative structure. He's one of the best in the industry to do it. It's a free webinar. If you want an invite to that, comment yes in the chat box, and I'll get you a personal invite to join us live. So just type yes. So tell us all about that deal, Jarrod. Tell us about the lead. What did the seller say? How did you put together the deal? And then share with us the numbers.
Sure. Okay. So a little bit about just where this deal is. So this is directly across the street from the university. It's one street over from the university here. I don't think that there's a better location as far as what would be a student rental. Really hot neighborhood. Tons of families want to be here. Of course, tons of college rentals are there. But my goal was to drive, of course, and hit the entire city. So I was faithfully driving through there. I found the deal. I pinned it October 6th of last year, and I sent mail 3 times. So in October, December, and February. Then I sent a cold text on February 7th, and then my acquisition manager got us an appointment set for February 24th. So that just goes to show several misses on marketing doesn't mean it's not a deal. It wasn't until my 4th or 5th contact with that person that I actually got an appointment set.
Love it.
Yeah. So he's a farmer, and he bought that house in 2007. And he wanted it for his kids if they wanted to stay in Lubbock. He lives 70 miles away from Lubbock. And he owned it free and clear. And his kids had moved away into other cities in Texas, so he just didn't really need it anymore. So details about the deal: the ARV on it is $350. I ended up getting it under contract for $230, and it needs $30 to $50K. So that was the numbers we got. He actually wanted it at $190. If I was just going to do a traditional wholesale, he wanted $190 cash, and my cash buyers would have bought it at $230 to $250, just depending on which one.
Wow. So you could have assigned it for up to $60,000.
Yes,
I want you guys to understand these numbers, right? So we're using a little lingo. So like let's like basic.
Slow it down.
Okay. So what he's saying is he could have gotten the purchase contract to buy the house with a cash offer for $190,000. He could have sent an email to his cash buyers list saying, hey, I have an assignable purchase contract. I'll sell you the contract. You can close on it and it's your house. He could have sold that purchase contract for $60,000. Guys, that's more than the average income for a college degree in the US.
Yeah.
Right? One deal. So he said, there's better, more meat on the bone. There's ways to make more money with this deal. So tell us how you structured that and what does that look like?
Okay. So I took some advice from another buddy in town and just gave 2 options. And my acquisition manager had mentioned these options, either 190 cash, and my acquisition manager said we can do 190 cash, or we pay you $250 and give you $50K up front, and then do an owner finance deal. And he immediately shut down the owner finance deal over the phone. So I show up to the appointment, and I bring him the 2 options again, except this time I actually offered $230K because my acquisition manager didn't understand what I originally told him. So I offered him $230, and I heard the seller. He says, "Man, I just need some money to pay off my tractor or equipment or something." Then I thought, he doesn't need to sell the house right away. To him, he actually really wants a seller finance deal. If I could just get him enough cash to pay off his tractor. So we ended up going with, I'd pay him $230 total.
Hold on. Before, guys, How do you think Jarrod knew that he needed a certain amount to pay off his tractor? Okay. One thing you need to understand is if you go on these appointments, when you find these sellers, they have a reason, right? And if you can build rapport and talk to the sellers and understand their needs, you can do way more deals and you can make way more. Do you notice how Jarrod wanted to offer the guy more money long-term than what he wanted as a cash offer? And he initially said, no, I don't want to do seller finance, because he did, the seller doesn't understand all the potential
Exactly.
opportunities.
That was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
You understood because you understood what he wanted and you understood how you were going to make money with the deal, right?
Right.
You can't create that beautiful structure unless you know what the seller wants. Most of the time, people, when I talk about creative financing, for the most part, people get all terrified and go, well, I don't know how to structure it. It's like, well, first of all, you need to understand what the seller wants and needs before you can ever even present anything, right? They just want to show up and, feel like they're super smart and act like they know everything, and puff out their chests and throw numbers and throw offers, and they're going to get rejected always.
Yeah. And every time I go on the appointment or meet with the seller, I try to be as little guy as I can. I don't want to come in there, charging them through the door. I know all these creative things and I know way more about real estate. No, I don't have that at all. I want to be as relatable and as human as I can appear to be, So, and I think that really helps a lot with the seller being willing to open up to you because you're way more approachable.
Love it.
So
you understood that he wanted to pay off a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
And so what did you end up offering? How did that go down? What was the structure?
So I had a notebook and with a piece of paper, and I drew a line down the middle, and on the left side I wrote 190 cash, and then on the other side I wrote payment plan. I didn't write seller finance. I just wrote payment plan. And I told him, look, I would actually pay you $40,000 more.
Dude, you keep giving so many gold nuggets. I have to keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. So listen, guys, he didn't put seller finance. He put payment plan. Why? Because if a 10-year-old can't understand it, you're too complicated. Don't use lingo. Don't use these scary words that intimidate people. He used a payment plan. People that don't do real estate for a living understand payment plans. They have payment plans on all different stuff. Payment plans at the gym.
He had a payment plan on his tractor.
Yeah. Love it. All right. Keep going.
Yeah. So I wrote payment plan. I said, well, I'll actually give you $40,000 more, $230,000, but I can get you $50,000 up front. And when I said this, I had no idea where I was going to get $50,000. I just knew that I had to do it.
Love it.
I definitely didn't have $50,000 just to drop on a down payment like that. But I said, okay, and then let's amortize it over 30 years.
Hold on. Lingo, amortize. What do you mean?
No, I didn't say, okay. I didn't tell him amortize. I said, we'll stretch it out over 30 years, be just like a normal house. I'm buying a normal house from you for over 30 years. But what I'll do is I'll actually pay you out. I'll buy you out at 5 years. So
did you offer that or did he ask for that?
I offered it because he originally said, I don't want to just do it over 30 years. He's an older guy. He just, I don't have the time. So I said, that's okay. What we can do is we'll terminate it at 5 years. And so that put my mortgage payment at $500 a month.
Well, you didn't say what the interest was.
No, I just said, let's divide the price of the house up 30 years. He goes, makes sense. So I got 0% interest on it.
0% interest. Guys, you have no idea what that means. So your payment is what, $500?
$500 a month.
That means for the 5 years he has that mortgage, every single dime is paying down how much he has to pay the dude.
Which is huge because, right now, even mortgage rates are super low, like 2 3/4, 3%, whatever, that's not far off. But, the way that amortization tables work is, the first half of the life of your mortgage is all interest. You don't really gain any equity until the end. Yep. So right now, every dime is going straight to equity, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So you get 0% interest, and it's $500 payment. What's your taxes and insurance roughly going to be on that property?
Right. So taxes are $5,000 a year, and insurance is $2,400 a year.
What does that average out per month?
Yeah,
So what did you say? $5,000 a year?
Yeah, so $616 for both of those.
616. Okay, so you're 1,016. No, 1,116 a month to hold that property. Okay.
Well, so far, but there's one more ticket. So right now my costs are $1,300. So I had so Russell's asking, how did I come up with the $50K? Great. So I just knew that I had a phenomenal deal that even if I needed to wholesale this structure, someone would have paid it.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to figure out how to keep
more
it.
than the 60.
Oh, for sure. But I wanted to figure out how to keep it. So a quick point of why I wanted to keep it is I'm also in campus ministry. And so the location of this house being directly across the street from the university makes it a super great spot to have students over. And so I really wanted to have that, but also it makes an incredible rental. So I ended up just in passing, just talking about, hey, a friend of mine, who's much older than me, but has taken a lot of interest in what I'm doing. I've been telling them about my deals and whatever. I just look at this deal. I'm going to sell this off. And he just says, hey, if you need, I could lend you the $50K. I would have no problem with doing that. I said, interesting. Well, that might work because he really supports what I'm doing in ministry big time. So, and I didn't ask. I wasn't trying to, I just was talking about the deal. I just thought it was so cool. And I have always told him about the deals I've done before, and he just thought it was so neat what I was doing in the last year with wholesaling. So he goes, Jarrod, let's do the same. He goes, Jarrod, let's do the same deal that you did with the seller. Let's just do the same terms. So it ended up being like the same deal. Divide the $50K over 30 years, and then balloon payment after 5.
Stop it! You didn't tell me this.
Like
zero.
Yeah.
Too. I'm just like,
Well, hang on.
How much interest? What are you talking about?
Okay, so it ended up being a weird number, like 163 or whatever. And so I said, man, let's just round it up to 180. So that's just less math for me to do. So it ended up being like 1.8% interest on the 50K.
Oh my gosh, Jarrod. Dude, I need to follow you around and learn from you.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's revisit that in a second. So I had no idea where I was going to get it from. I don't come from money. People in my family don't know anything. I mean, they're broke, but and I love my family so much. They just, I don't know. It wasn't so important to them, or they didn't know about wholesaling, whatever reason. I just don't come from it. Right. Mm-hmm. I had no clue. In fact, $50,000 is still like, I don't even comprehend what that is. That's just so much money to me. But I just talked to the right guy, and they just happened to want to offer it. So
listen, hold on. I did a Facebook Live last week where I talked about this. I said to become an expert in your market and to have opportunities just like Jarrod did, is he shared what he was doing. People knew about his success. Success attracts more success. But if you're not sharing your success, you are not going to let people know about it, right?
Exactly. No, that is the key, because the guy who lent me this isn't looking to make money on the 50,000. He pulled it out of an IRA. Did an IRA loan and said, "Man, Jarrod, I want to invest in you. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I want to just be a stepping stone or someone to help you out," which is incredible, right? And that never would have happened if I wouldn't have shared about what I was doing. I mean, I sent them photos, and, did a walkthrough, said, "Guys, look at this house. Isn't this an incredible deal?" Okay. So, I had my real estate broker. So I'm also a realtor. I've seen a few comments in the YouTube deal about what can realtors do it. I'm a realtor. So, for whatever good or bad that is, to me, it's been all positive having my real estate license.
Let me approach that subject. Okay.
Yeah.
if you are not a licensed agent, you need to make sure you pass any creative structure deals. Once you have the purchase agreement, you need to pass them past your attorney, right? You need to make sure everything you're doing is legal and ethical, right? If you are a licensed agent and you do any creative structures or any wholesaling or anything creative, check all of the rules and regulations with your broker, right?
Absolutely.
And so those kinds of things. Can you do this? Yes, you can do this 100%, but make sure you check. I'm not an attorney. Jarrod's not an attorney. So
right.
We're sharing some gold nuggets and some of the success we've had because we want to give back, because we believe in giving back, right?
For sure.
We receive, that's kind of a selfish reason, but it also feels really good to help other people. But, Jarrod, with that being said, continue on the how you structured that, how you're able to
get. So on that, I called my broker. So he's my local mentor too. He says, the brokerages we're investors first. And so he completely supports all my wholesaling. In fact, he buys 2/3 of all my deals, a broker. So he totally supports what I'm doing. And he goes, man, Jarrod, how did you do this? Like, you just can't believe this deal. I said, I don't know. I listened to what the guy wanted, and he understood what was going on. And I just found what his need was. And people think just throwing more money up front solves the problem, but that's not always the case. Anyway, so I told him about it, and he came to look and check it out and goes, I can't believe it. He goes, and he has several rentals, a lot of rentals. And he goes, Jarrod, you can rent this place out for $3,000 a month yesterday. Like, you don't even have to do much to it.
So this is so dumb. Oh my gosh.
So my frustrating. My costs in this, the mortgage, the down payment, loan, the taxes, insurance is about $1,300 a month.
Jeez, man, $1,300 a month. How much to get it to where it can rent? You said it almost is ready to rent for that amount. How much are you going to need to put into it?
Well, I could have rented it as is. What I'm going to do with it is I'm going to house hack, AKA I'm going to live there and rent out some of the other rooms. Because what it is, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in the front, and it's also got a 900 square foot back house.
Right.
So I've already got 2 guys who want to move in with me, and then I'm going to Airbnb out or rent out the back house as well. So I really wanted to have a place for myself, and this works out great. It's going to pay itself for me, and all of my payments going to go straight to principal. And then once I'm doing all the remodeling myself.
I love this strategy.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
So I'm doing all the remodeling myself. I've been pretty handy growing up. I helped my dad just do stuff, and my dad was always a hands-on guy. So I'm not afraid. So I'm tearing out walls, ripping out closets. I'm tearing up carpet, floor, all of it. I'm going to vault the ceiling up. So I'm actually doing my cost evaluation. I'm going to be somewhere and do a stunning remodel, somewhere between 20 to 30K. And my initial estimate, to hire people out.
Right?
Do what?
That's more for personal reasons, correct?
Oh yeah, completely personal. Yeah, completely personal reason, because I'm going to move into it and I want to do it the way I want. And yeah.
God, there's so many cool things. Like people can see, like the house I'm living in right now, this beautiful home I'm in, it was a deal I cherry picked from my pipeline, right? I got this house is worth $300,000. I only owe $170 on this house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I found it. My very first deal I ever bought for myself was a duplex. I lived in one half and rented the other half for $750 a month. My mortgage was $400 a month, including escrow. So like everything you're sharing is like everything I've been through, right? Everything that you're doing, it's right online. Like you're creating financial freedom. You're creating generational wealth with just this one structure. You do this.
Oh yeah. No question.
Brother, dude, you're crushing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I texted my broker the other day. I told him, I said, look, I'm beside myself right here. I thanked him for what he's been showing me and helping me out, answering questions, and just, a few months ago, Zach, I had put a Facebook deal about how I wanted to get 50 deals, and or 50 doors in 5 years, you go, well, what does that mean or whatever? What are your goals? And how do you plan to get there? Going into this, I had no plan to buy a house for myself. I just was not thinking that way. I just wasn't thinking about it. But once I started talking with the seller, I realized, how could I afford to not buy this house? Like, it would be such a detriment for me to wholesale this thing.
That's why I love wholesaling, right? Is because you have a cash flowing beast of a business, right? Just tons of cash coming in. And then an opportunity comes in front of you and you go, crap, I can't afford not to keep this one. Like I can't assign this. This is crazy. Right?
Yeah.
That's the ones you keep. And that's why I started wholesaling too. So God, there's been so many wonderful gold nuggets. Just a quick recap on this deal. It's worth how much as is right now? Probably retail, maybe a little bit of retail.
As is probably worth 260.
260. You got it for about 230.
Right.
So you got a nice discount, but you got 0% interest, a 30-year loan payment, but you have a 5-year due date to pay the remaining amount.
Right.
You got the $50,000 down that was required from a friend at 1.something percent.
1.8%.
That's so crazy. Some major gold nuggets. The way he did that is he understood the seller's needs. Well, first of all, you had a good marketing system to produce the lead. Yep. Second, he understood what those sellers' needs were, right? And created a win-win structure, right? Then, you put together the deal. Once you put together the deal, you figured out a way to either keep it yourself or how you would be able to assign it. You had more than one way to win once you found the deal, right?
Right. Yep.
The way you were able to get the financing is you became an expert in your market, right? You were sharing your success with people around you. You obviously are not a cocky or arrogant guy. So don't do Facebook's lives and be like, hey, look how cool I am. I'm flipping houses, right? But you're sharing the deals, you're sharing knowledge, you're teaching other people what you're doing and adding value to other people. People don't care about your success. They care about how your success can bring them success, right?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. So I know you and I understand that's what you were doing. So because of that, people believed in you and what you're doing. And I've seen so much of that in other successful people, right? People are not successful by accident. They are there because they're doing the right things.
Right.
So you've done so many right things to make this happen, but they're not complicated. So thank you so much for sharing all this with us, Jarrod.
For
I
sure.
want to end this. I'm sure there's so many more wonderful things we can get from you. I plan on interviewing you again. I'm just super excited to have you as a student and be able to be a part of your journey in some small way. You've absolutely crushed it. I'm proud of you, man.
Right. And I appreciate that too, man. And real quick, just one thing I wanted to add before we get off of here.
Okay.
Is I just wanted to share kind of the numbers I've got on my business here. Just to show again that anyone can do this. Okay. I've got 4,600 pins in Deal Machine. I've got 306 leads, active people who mention that they want to sell a house.
Love it.
My buyers list is 173 people, and I've done 10 deals. So I'm nowhere near anywhere with these. A lot of my coaches, they've got huge tens of thousands of buyers. I mean, you don't need all that to get started. Just getting out there.
Even a lot of people that have never done one, they might be thinking, wow, that's a lot, like 10 deals, over $100,000 in revenue and taking on deals. But only a few months ago, you were an engineer, right? Or you just finished your schooling actually, right? You were in ministry.
No, I had came straight to here from Brazil.
Right. So you were in ministry. So did you get your engineer degree or were you?
Yeah, I've got an engineering degree and now I'm in campus ministry and real estate and I'm no way going back to engineering.
Guys, it does not take a super intelligent person. If it did, I would not be in front of you. Okay. I went from window cleaning, washing windows like a crazy person.
In fact, that may be a detriment.
What's that?
If you're crazy intelligent, I think that adds another challenge because you think you know more than what really works.
That or you overthink it.
Yeah.
I truly believe the main thing that it's required to be successful in this business is be willing to work hard and do your marketing, and then be charismatic. Truly care about people and what their needs are when they're selling.
That is the key. That is the key.
You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's bull crap. You're just trying to take advantage of these people." I can't tell you how
No
many
way.
that from.
No way. In fact, I sent you a photo of the seller wanted to take a picture with us.
Oh, you did send that. I'm going to show that real quick. So if you guys want to learn more about my Driving for Dollars system, you can go to my webinar this week. It's absolutely free. I'm going to drop a ton of gold nuggets, get you guys started. It's dfdmastery.com. All right. Also, if you want to learn more about creative structure deals where you can get big old juicy deals that create financial freedom, I've got a webinar next week that's absolutely free as well, where we're going to deep dive a new strategy. So just comment yes in the chat box. I don't have a link for that yet. So just type yes in the chat box, and I will make sure that we get you an invite. Okay. So type yes if you're interested. I know there's more questions. Go to my live webinar this week, and I'll spend more time answering questions during that webinar than I did here tonight. Oh, you sent it to me in WhatsApp.
Yeah, WhatsApp.
Yeah, guys, check out this picture. Like, look at this house, though. I mean, it's a nice little house. Like, it's not like this ugly little house. Like, look at that house. It's cute.
Oh, cool.
Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Sweet. And it's good shape inside. I mean, some of the stuff is, 80s.
It's dated.
Yeah, 80s, 70s, 80s, right? 80s, 90s, right? 80s and 90s, right?
Your bones.
Yeah, it's a good little house. Let's see. Look.
There we go. That's it.
Our farmer friend paid off his tractor. Guys, it's not complicated. Get out there and get started. If you want to get started today, download the Deal Machine app. You can go to, that's the app we're using to add these properties. If you use my discount code PIN, PIN, you can get the tracking software that goes along with it. That's usually more per month. You get it free for 2 months. So go ahead and jump in, get the app, get started. Hopefully I'll see you this week again on the webinar, and then next week on the next webinar. I'll try and do more Facebook Lives and add more content and value to you guys. But stay tuned. Let me know if you like this. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because there'll be more stuff coming. If there's any more questions that I can't answer, I'm sure Jamelia can, and she'll help us out. So thanks, Jarrod and Jamelia, for being here with me tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, this has been awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
Good work, dude. I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate it.
I
appreciate it.
Awesome.
Would it be okay if I gave my number out if anyone needed help or anything? Or
how about they just reach out to you through email or social media? If you want to give your phone number out that way, that would be okay.
Okay, sure.
So what social media platforms would you prefer?
Facebook and Instagram. It's Jarrod Frankum.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll put a link. I think we can go back and edit the show notes in the YouTube channel, right? With a link to his Facebook. We'll get that done.
We'll do that.
All right, Jarrod, Jamelia, y'all have a good night. Everyone following and listening, y'all have a good night. Enjoy time with your families. Be safe out there. Stay healthy, and y'all have a good night.
Good night.
All right. Good night, man.
All right. See ya.